So if you were to scroll through Twitter for about 25 seconds, you'd probably think that the Philadelphia Eagles season is over. And honestly, before I got on this, I was probably going to tell you the same. No, I'm just kidding. At the end of the day, the Eagles still have a game to play on Monday. There is some bad news. We did get some clarity on injuries. And also, I pissed off a bunch of people on Twitter. So we're going to talk about all that. Let's get into it.
You want Philly, Philly?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Philly, Philly in the building. We're going to pull off something special. We are going to pull off something special. I'm telling you right now, I am not afraid. I am not being pessimistic. I am not. All I can do is hope. All I can do is hope. Have the Eagles looked how we've wanted them to? Not by a long shot, but at the end of the day, they have a chance to redeem themselves because I've said it before, I'll say it again. If the Eagles play well in the playoffs, nobody's going to give a damn what happened throughout the season. The Eagles are 11-6. They're going into the playoffs as the 5th seed. They're going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, we just got to go out there and play. That's all we got to do. But we are going to talk about everything I want to talk about. We got injury updates. We got everything, but y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Joe Castro, a.k.a. Philly Fresco, and it is Philly, Philly, the podcast. I'm tired of the pessimism. I'm going to be real with you. I'm tired of seeing all these Eagles fans out there talking like this is a lost season, like all these players need to get fired, all these coaches need to get fired. Just shut up for a little bit, all right? We do have something to talk about with A.J. Brown. Dumas, I think is his last name, said something that caught my attention, and honestly, I think it sums up how a lot of Eagles fans have been talking, and when someone from another area, I think he covers Oakland sports, when someone that has nothing to do with the Philadelphia Eagles says something like this, I think that it kind of reframes things, all right? So that's what I want to talk about. Also, like I said, I do want to talk about these injury updates. Before we get into that, be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family. We are on the road to a million, quadrillion, badrillion, billion. I don't know. I'm making up words at this point, but we're on the road to it. Would love for you guys to join. So let's hop right into it, man. We're going to start with Dumas. I think dumbass fits perfect right now. But at the end of the day, he said on Twitter about an hour ago, I'm literally recording this around 1:30. So he said it around 12:30-ish. He said this. I don't think A.J. Brown plays another snap for the Eagles. That is a take. That is a take right there. Now, why did I bring this up? Because honestly, I'm seeing a lot of Eagles fans saying something similar. I'm seeing some people saying we need to trade him. People saying that he's another TO. He's this, he's that. He deactivated his Twitter. He took all the stuff off of Instagram. At the end of the day, he's injured. He wanted to focus. We heard Nick Sirianni talk, and we heard him say that he did everything in his power to be ready for this week. I believe him. I mean, I think that A.J. Brown, and if I'm not mistaken, he did the same thing last year, but when he wasn't injured, he turned off his Twitter for the playoffs. He likes to get locked in. He likes to get focused. I don't see anything wrong with that. People need to calm down because this is the type of stuff, especially when it comes from our own fan base, that runs players out of town. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, just get on your hands and knees and beg these players to be great. I'm not saying that, but you have to understand the role of a fan base. The role of a fan base is not to sit there and degrade and disrespect every single player whenever they do something you don't like. The role of a fan base is to be a fan. If you want to talk about stuff you don't like, that's one thing, but you don't have to do it while diminishing other people. So I'm getting kind of tired of this type of talk because we haven't even played our playoff game. If we lose, and, Nick Sirianni looks like an absolute idiot out there, then we'll talk about that. But at the end of the day, we're talking about stuff that hasn't even happened yet. We had 11 wins this year, 11 wins against some really good teams. And did we slip off towards the end? Definitely. There's room to be upset. There's room to be concerned. There's room for all that. But there is no room to bash your own players. At the end of the day, I just don't get it. Maybe I'm from a different era. Maybe I'm a different type of person. I just don't find the productivity in talking all this smack and being so negative on Twitter. It's just, and on social medias in general. I used to be in a bunch of Facebook groups. No longer am. I can't deal with the armchair GMs. I can't deal with once Howie Roseman went from being the most loved GM in the city of Philadelphia to now the biggest idiot in the world to a lot of you guys, and I just don't get it. Tell me in the comments if I'm bugging out. Maybe I need to be a little bit more critical on these people, but I don't see A.J. Brown leaving. I don't see Nick Sirianni getting fired unless there's something that we're not seeing within this locker room. I don't think that the locker room is as divided as everybody's making it out to seem. I think that there's a lot of just doomsday mentality from a lot of Eagles fans, and we need to calm down. Now, the update with A.J. Brown is that he will not be playing Monday night. That is a huge loss for the Philadelphia Eagles. But realistically, and when I say this, I don't want you to be like, oh, he wants A.J. Brown out. No, I do not want A.J. Brown. I would love for A.J. Brown to have played this Monday. But this might handcuff the offensive coordinator, the Nick Sirianni, this offensive staff, Jalen Hurts, to lean more on the run. Now, isn't that something we've all been saying all year? So let's look at positive. Let's look at the good side of this, that we might see DeAndre Swift get utilized how he should be. He is 100% healthy. Obviously didn't play against the New York Giants, so he had that week of rest. Let's be real. Let's be positive. Let's be honest. This team has beaten some good teams. Has it been pretty at all times? No. There's definitely some things that we have been lacking this year, especially on defense. But offensively, we have shown grit. We have shown the ability to put the ball in the end zone, and that's all that matters. We need to get consistent. We need to utilize our run game, utilize different sets. I want to see some 22 personnel. I want to see some 12 personnel. Not having a guy like A.J. Brown forces your hand to utilize the rest of your players, which is something they should have been doing all year. So we can look at this, obviously, with a negativity glasses, but we can also look at this with positivity lenses. And I'm making all this up. These are all words of it, just sayings I'm making up now. But we can look at it positively, right? We can now utilize the rest of our team, which I think is something that a lot of Eagles fans and probably Eagles players have been asking this coaching staff to do for a while. So we now get to see to the fullest extent what is Brian Johnson, to the fullest extent what is Nick Sirianni. We have not played a game without A.J. Brown since 2 years ago. I went to that game against Tampa Bay in the playoffs where we got absolutely smoked. So it's a different team. It was a totally different team. Do not get me wrong. But this now can kind of show us, who are we? What are we without our stud A.J. Brown? So I wanted to say that, guys, calm the heck down. Let's not get too crazy. Let's not, throw this whole city away, throw the whole team away. We still have a game to play, and I feel confident. I think that we can go out there and win it. Now, before we get into the next stuff, I do want to just give you guys a quick reminder. I am going out to the Senior Bowl. I am going out to the draft. I am going out to the Pro Bowl. I am going out to the Combine. All that stuff is possible because of you guys. Now, I work a regular job, and if I didn't tell you before, my job caught on fire. So I haven't really been able to work this past week, but I have been out there, hustling, because that's what we do. But at the end of the day, that means nothing. If you guys want to support, a lot of you guys have already. We're already over $400 of my $1,000 goal. If you guys want to help me out, get to these events, be able to give you the best coverage, I do have a GoFundMe up. I do have my, PayPal, my Cash App, and my Venmo. If you want to support, again, I want to reiterate this. You do not have to. If you do not have it or you just don't want to, it is totally fine. You watching this video, you supporting, always makes me happy. That is more than enough for me. But those that want to go the extra mile, I do appreciate it as well. Now, the next thing I do want to talk about is going to be how we might be looking at new safeties this week. Now, we've talked about this a little bit in the last video where Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown, obviously Sidney Brown tore his ACL. That's the news I saw, but they still haven't put him on IR. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with his roster spot. We'll probably get more information on that as the week goes. But right now, we do not have Sidney Brown. It looks very, very unlikely as I'm recording this. They are at practice, and Reed Blankenship is not practicing. So it doesn't look like he's going to practice. This is what Nick Sirianni said, though, and this is from John Clark. Nick Sirianni says that safety Reed... No, let me bring it up. I'm sorry. I should have just brought it up. Nick Sirianni says that safety Reed Blankenship will be a game-time decision Monday night. The Eagles are preparing Avonte Maddox to play with Kevin Byard at the safety position, and Bradley Roby could be in the slot if Reed can't play. So I've seen a lot of people talk about, Bradley Roby getting back into that slot position. Obviously, once Avonte Maddox came back, we just really didn't need him there, I guess. You didn't really utilize him in that slot position. This is a good time to get him back there. If you've been following along with the Philadelphia Eagles as long as Avonte Maddox has been a Philadelphia Eagle, there has been a sect of fans saying he needs to be a full-time starter at safety. And this could honestly be something that can kind of extend his career a little bit, because there is some questions on whether the Eagles will bring him back or not next year, because you got a guy like Isaiah Rodgers on suspension coming back next year. So we'll see what happens there. Avonte Maddox has played safety before. He's played it in his rookie year, I believe a little bit in his second year as well. He can do it. this is a guy that is definitely he's versatile enough. He's a guy that can definitely do it. He's a guy that can make things happen in that secondary. I think that this is a great thing for the Philadelphia Eagles, even if it's not a long-term thing, just to know that you have a guy like Avonte Maddox that can go out there, suit up for you in different positions, have that versatility. Nick Sirianni even talked about it at his press conference, that it's a huge asset to have a guy like Avonte Maddox. I'm happy to see him there. I would love to have Reed Blankenship back. It would be really, really big to have Reed in this game. But if he does not go, this is what we're looking like: Kevin Byard and Avonte Maddox, Bradley Roby, possibly in the slot. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about these cornerbacks, because I know I've seen a lot of people talking about Darius Slay coming back. Darius Slay is coming back. Now, what does that mean for a guy like James Bradberry? A lot of people are saying that money's going to play. I get it. We gave James Bradberry that big contract. It seems like the Eagles are most likely going to favor him to play because they're paying him a lot of money. But at the same time, the decision there will really make a point to me. If they do start James Bradberry, okay, that's fine. How much do you utilize some of these younger guys? Kelee Ringo has really proven himself to me. Now, is he an all-star? Is he the best player in the world? Not yet, but I think that he showed he's competent enough to go out there and get some good reps in the playoffs and as a cornerback, so an outside cornerback especially. Do you utilize him? Do you utilize a guy like Eli Ricks, who, again, I feel like he's shown some real strengths, shown some real flashes this year. So that's going to be a very interesting thing to me to watch. How much do we utilize these other guys? Now, Matt Patricia has said that he plans to use, Eli Ricks and Kelee Ringo in situational, situational plays, I guess, situational situations. I don't know how to put that, but he said he's going to utilize him. So I want to see how much they do. Is it going to be a full-on, hey, Kelee Ringo, this is your game, hey, Eli, this is your game, or is it going to be a mix between the three? I'm going with the latter. I think all three of them are going to see some good time, but that's going to be something to watch and to key in on, because I've said this before. Baker Mayfield is not a bum. Baker Mayfield is not a bum. He is a little banged up, but he is not a bum. He has played decent this year, and this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is not absolute garbage. They are not the best in the world. They're probably the worst in the playoffs. I'll say that. I mean, yeah, I would say that they're probably the worst right now, at least on the NFC side, but that doesn't mean anything. They can come in, they can go, they're at home. They can come in and just surprise the heck out of us. Obviously, we are down some players, so do not sleep on these guys. Do not sleep on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the last thing I want to talk about, man, is going to be, I love to get people pissed off, and I guess I did it again. Now, me saying that I like to get people pissed off, I don't want you to think that this is a lie. I truly do feel this. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. So everybody get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl, because it's going to happen, okay? Sleep on us all you want. I'm not asleep. I'm awake. This team has said that they feel a sense of urgency at practices. I feel the sense of urgency. Nick, everybody's saying this is for your job, so go out there and shut these people up. The Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to beat the Bills, and that's all I got to say about that. Now, other than that, I love you guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Put all your thoughts in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody that tunes in, locks in. I don't want to make this video a 30-minute video, so I am going to get out of here, and I probably will come back pretty soon, but y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly, and we are out here. Peace!
Everywhere. This is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a Bird Gang Nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog, or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.